Hello everybody, and welcome to SportSource, your number one source of sports, and today we're talking about Derrick Rose and why he's overrated and just my overall rant on him, because I've wanted to do this video for a long time, and I need to provide a couple disclaimers before I really go in deep into this video and before you guys start typing your hate comments. So, the first thing is that I don't like the term overrated whatsoever. I think it's such a stupid term because the players don't control who's overrated or not. The fans do, and I just hate the casual NBA media so much. It just gets on my nerves. That's why I made the NBA police or the NBA cop series, which died. But there's just so much stuff I really hate about the media, and there's so much stuff that they say is just so stupid. And yeah, and one of the things is about Derrick Rose, and everyone's hyping up Derrick Rose so much. And I also want to disclaim that I don't hate Derrick Rose. I actually like Derrick Rose, but I just hate fans that overhype these players so much. Like Luka Doncic. I liked Luka Doncic when he entered the NBA. But the fans, oh my gosh, the fans, they were so annoying. So, another thing that kind of stirred the pot a bit was the Derrick Rose 2K rating dropped, and everyone was comparing him to Zion, and there was these ludicrous statements about Derrick Rose, and I just said, cut it out. I'm going to be doing this. I'm making a video on this. And, you know, just don't hate on this video. It's not going to be my highest quality video. This is mostly just off the top of my head. This is just something I need to get out. This is something I need to get off my chest. This is something I need to be heard. And, you know, I like to consider myself a very unbiased NBA fan. You know, I like to consider myself pretty level-headed and very aware of the league and the players. And I think I'm a hardcore NBA fan. But these players out here, these people, they're so biased, and Derrick Rose is a fan favorite, so whatever, you can support your favorite player, whatever. But to say these ludicrous statements is just ridiculous. He's not his MVP self like these people still think he is. That was in 2011. That was 8 years ago, or it was 2010 to 2011, almost a decade away. Almost a decade ago, and this is still happening. So let's just talk about his MVP numbers, because some people are saying that he is, you know, his MVP self. Some people are saying that he's gonna reach that level this season. Just it's so annoying. When he was his MVP, the youngest MVP in history, might I add, he averaged 25 points, 8 assists, and his team was the first seed with 60 wins. Now, people are saying that Derrick Rose is still that level. Last year, he was off the bench for lots of games. He was a 6th Man of the Year candidate if he will play enough games off the bench. He's just not an MVP player anymore. He's more efficient because he's not in that role where he needs to be a high or a first scoring option, a high volume scorer. He just isn't. He's just out there to score a lot, to distribute the ball a bit, and to be efficient and just be a spark plug. And that's exactly what he was. If people think that if you just give someone more minutes, they're just gonna magically get better stats, like, that's not how it works. You know, there's this thing, it's called fatigue. People look at the per 36 stats a lot, but that doesn't mean anything, because let's face it, not a lot of players play 36 minutes on average anymore. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, last year he averaged 18-4 and missed the playoffs, and people are comparing this to his MVP season. That's ludicrous. It was a great comeback, but I don't think that it should be compared whatsoever. And I don't even think that he's close to his MVP self. I think that he has evolved himself from that MVP. And I think Derrick Rose, personally, I don't think he wants to be seen as the MVP anymore. That was 10 years ago. I think he wants to be known for what he's been doing now. Like his 50-point game, that was magical. I'm not trying to diminish Derrick Rose whatsoever. I watched that game. That was a really good game. It was magical. It was awesome to see that. Derrick Rose has one of the most... He has the best heart in the NBA. One of the best hearts in the NBA. And, you know, I just don't like to see all these ludicrous statements. I have to put an end to it. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, during the season, the 2018-19 season, he was getting a lot of All-Star votes. He almost got 2 million votes for the All-Star game in the fan vote. And people were saying he got snubbed from the All-Star game. First of all, people don't understand that it's not just the fan vote. It's just not. Like, lots of it goes into the coaches, and, you know, the executives, they, you know, get a vote too, in the media. I don't think he should have been an all-star because his team wasn't good enough, and he didn't even score that much like other guys. Guys like Booker didn't make the all-star game, and he averaged 26-7. How do you explain that when they're both missing the playoffs? You know, Derrick Rose should not have been an all-star. People say he got snubbed, but they don't realize the fan vote is and everything. The fan vote is kind of useless if you think about it. In a way, because lots of the people that, or not lots, like Doncic and Rose got lots of votes, but they didn't get voted in, because you have to be level-headed. You have to just let your passions just not get the best of you. Like, Kyrie Irving is my favorite player. He's the reason why I like basketball. He's the reason why I fell in love with the game. But I don't just constantly support Kyrie Irving. Like, I'm not so biased towards him, you know? I'm level-headed. And Derrick Rose should not have been an all-star like some people say he is. And some people think he's going to be an all-star next year, which is ludicrous. He's not even going to start next year. Okay, I think Reggie Jackson is going to start next year, and they're going to have Derrick Rose as a six-man, a spark plug, which they should. But people think he's going to be an all-star just because he's in the East, and people think he's actually going to improve from last year. I don't think he's going to improve from last year. I think he could keep that consistent level that he's seen. Again, I'm not trying to diminish Derrick Rose. He's one of the best bench players in the NBA when he's off the bench, and he's a very, very quality starter. But there's no way that he should be getting talked up and hyped up like he is whatsoever. Another thing that really bothered me throughout the season was the Most Improved Player award. Lots of people were saying that Derrick Rose should have won Most Improved Player, or they should have at least been a candidate. And to these people I say, do you even know what the Most Improved Player award is? The Most Improved Player award, it goes to people that it's not meant for him. That's not his award. That's not the kind of season he had. He didn't have a Most Improved Player award. He had a comeback season. An amazing, the best comeback season we've ever seen. But that's not an improvement season. There's a difference between an improvement season and a comeback season. He was good, then he had a drop off, then he came back soaring. And then now with the Most Improved Player award, it's like you have these low expectations. That's what the award is. It's for breakout players that had these low expectations, and then they just broke out and they just proved themselves. They got a bigger role and they just broke out. But it's just not meant for him. And he didn't really improve. You can't win the Most Improved Player award if you've done really good in the past, went really downhill, and then went back to like 50% of what you once were. That's not an improvement. You were an MVP. You just don't deserve that award. And people that saying that he was snubbed from being an all-star and the Most Improved Player, it's just ludicrous to me. And Derrick Rose, let's just talk about NBA 2K20. I'm very hyped for this game. I'm probably going to make a second channel where I just play NBA 2K because I don't really want that on this channel. I kind of want this to keep it more basketball and hockey discussions, but the 2K ratings. So I think the 2K ratings, it's pretty irrelevant if you really think about it. Like, people get hyped up over this, but like, the season hasn't even started yet. Like, chill out. They only released this to get us hyped up, but really we shouldn't be hyped over a rating that's going to change in 2 weeks anyway. And people bug about the ratings. Barely anyone plays my league, so it doesn't even matter. And barely anyone just plays Play Now unless you just got your buddies over, or if you're playing Play Now online. Most people are in my team where these ratings aren't even the same, or they're in My Career and Park. So first of all, I don't even know why these 2K ratings matter, but you know, they've been floating around a lot, the screenshots, the overalls, and Derrick Rose is an 80 overall. Now, let me first say this, I am not a Derrick Rose hater. I think he should be higher than 80 overall. I think he should be an 82 to 83 max. Some people though out there, okay, if you look at any Derrick Rose post about him and his 2K rating, people are saying that he should be an 85, 86, 87, 88. That is ludicrous. There's players that are way better than Derrick Rose that have that rating. He does not deserve to be up in that club with them. He just doesn't. And 88, that's so stupid. And the second thing is Zion. So Zion has provided a lot of hype. He's been probably the most hyped player, college player since LeBron James. And he got an 81 overall, which I think is good. Again, it's a base overall. All of these overalls are base overalls. If Zion Williamson comes out and averages 3 points a game, his rating is going to drop. So there's no point in really hating on 2K and hating on these ratings now because they're irrelevant. But anyways, back to my rant. Zion Williamson. People are saying that he should be way lower and that he hasn't touched the basketball court yet. He hasn't touched the basketball yet. But they do this to these rookies. You could say that about any rookie. You could say, Ja Morant doesn't deserve to be a 79. He hasn't touched the basketball. Like, that's so stupid. That's such a stupid argument because these players, if you would have talked about a rookie coming out of college, let's just say, I don't know, Lonzo Ball. Let's just say Lonzo Ball. I didn't hear anybody complaining about Lonzo Ball being too high of an overall because he hasn't touched the basketball yet. I didn't hear anyone complaining that a rookie LeBron got 78 overall when he hasn't touched a basketball yet. I haven't heard this. The only reason that people are hating on Zion Williamson's rating is because they're tying it to Derrick Rose's rating, and they think that Derrick Rose should be higher than Zion. The truth is, that's not the case. People are saying, Zion can't shoot at all this. I want to make... Okay, I know I'm getting a little bit off topic, and this is very unstructured. I'm sorry about that. But the thing about these players is, I want to make a whole video on this because I hate the NBA media how they do this. They do this every single time. In 2014, Andrew Wiggins, he was hype. He was supposed to be the next Kobe Bryant. And then a couple years later, people gave up on him, and they just called him a bum. With Cat, he was supposed to be a stud, the next MVP. He was amazing as a rookie. And then a couple years later, people were like, oh, he doesn't play defense. He sucks. 2016, people were comparing Ben Simmons to the next LeBron James. They were saying that their play styles are like that. He's going to be the next LeBron James. And then 2 years later, the narrative changes, and then he doesn't have a jump shot. And then just all of these things. And then probably... Oh, yeah, and Jason Tatum. People were saying that Jason Tatum is only 20 years old, and he's already got all this talent, and he's going to be one of the best players in the NBA in a couple of years. And now people are saying that he's overrated and that he just sucks. But that is not the case. And I hope this doesn't happen to Luka Doncic, where they underperform because these NBA media, they put such high expectations on these players that they can't reach. And then they just give up on them, and they say that they're bust. So if Luka doesn't go out and average 26 next year, people are going to call him a bust and call out his flaws. Because the first year of a player, they praise them. Second year, they start looking at the flaws and they give up and they move on to the next thing. These NBA fans are so spoiled. It's like a kid. And this is a weird metaphor, but it's like a kid in a toy store. And, you know, he gets this new toy. He comes home and he plays with it for a day or two. And then he's done with it. And it's like, it's like that Toy Story meme, that the one where Andy's dropping Woody and he's like, I don't want to play with you anymore. That's the NBA media, bro. I swear. But anyways, I'm really off topic. This is Derrick Rose rant. And Derrick Rose, I think that Zion, people are saying that he can't shoot and that he sucks, which is stupid. It's a stupid narrative. But people are... Let's just look at the facts. Zion is a freak athlete, and athleticism and defense makes up a lot of your 2K rating. Keep that in mind. He's also a great inside scorer, you know, dunker. He's good inside. He's obviously fast. And he's a decent enough playmaker. Derrick Rose is a liability on defense. He is a good scorer. His playmaking isn't the best, and he's just not as athletic as he used to be. So the reason that Derrick Rose is a lower overall than Zion, their overalls have nothing to do with each other, because the rookies give this certain overall. They want to give him an 81 overall because they think that he is the best prospect, the best NBA rookie to ever come out of the draft. That's what they think, or the most hyped. So that's why they want to put him at that high overall. Derrick Rose is not that high of an overall. He's not even... I really hate to say this. He's not even that good anymore. And what I mean by that is he's not an all-star. He's not a great starter. He's a good starter. He's not an MVP by any means. But these Derrick Rose fans. And I want to find some screenshots for this video, and I couldn't find enough. I found a couple comments in the Instagram section of kind of what I'm talking about, how Derrick Rose, all these Derrick Rose comments, and all these Derrick Rose fanboys. And it's okay to be a fan of a player, but just put your own mind before your player. You know, you gotta be a little unbiased. But I was looking for these comments again, and I couldn't find them. But when I was looking through them for this video, I didn't screenshot them, which was my bad. But I seen a lot, and I mean a lot, of Derrick Rose comments. So this was my 14-minute rant. I hope you enjoyed. What did you think of the video? What do you want me to see me do next? Because I'm kind of running out of ideas. I would like to know down in the comment section below. Subscribe to join SportSource Nation. That's all for me now. I'll see you in the next one. Take care and goodbye.